What's up guys, I got the RC390 engine here on the bench. I did a little cleanup job on it, just trying to get as much stuff off of it as possible. We're ready to start tearing into it. We want to get the head off today. We're going to take a look at the cylinder and the piston. Might get that out and take that to the shop too to have the top of that decked and make sure that this mating surface is perfect. But first, we got to start disassembling. So I believe the first step would be to set it at top dead center. So we're going to need to pull out this plug. From there we can turn the engine over. So this will allow us to see the top dead center markings on the rotor. And we're looking for a timing mark here. I'm guessing that's it. The line straight down. That line's lined up. Let's check the head and see where we need to be. I'm going to start working on the top up here, but first we're going to take this intake off because we don't need it here. Loosen that up. Alright, now we can take the top cover bolts out. Okay, got those off. So you're going to rock this back and forth. Get this cover off. There we go. Some half moons on the other side. You got these guys. Remove this gasket. Looks like it's got a little bit of RTV in there. We want to make sure we're in alignment, which we are. It's slightly high here, but everything else is aligned, and we're aligned with the rotor, so we are at top dead center. Oh wait, shouldn't this be in the other way? Yeah, actually. There we go. So everything looks more or less aligned. Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of this just so I remember what the alignment looks like. And we're putting it all back together. Next comes the spark plug tube. I don't know how to get this out because it doesn't say in the manual. Kind of feels like it wiggles, so it might just be held in with an O-ring down there. I already took the spark plug out, by the way. So this has been giving me a little bit of trouble. I just ever so gently pried up with 2 screwdrivers until it pops the O-ring. I'm guessing it's an O-ring down there. Oh. Yeah, there are 2 O-rings. So this pops out of there. There wasn't anything about it in the manual. It's just like, remove it. Yeah, I want to, but how? Now we can take off the cam chain tensioner. First things first, take this off. A little center portion here. And then we use a tiny screwdriver, a very small screwdriver. Let me turn it to the right clockwise to lock the cam chain tensioner. Then we can take off the whole unit. Whew. Looks fairly corroded. Interesting. I have heard that these fail, so I might look into getting one of the manual cam chain tensioners. Now with that undone, I believe we can take the carrier off, and we want to work our way inside, doing a crisscross pattern. Just want to crack them. What are you stuck on? There we go. Perfect. There we go. Beautiful. There's a little tiny bit of marking on the cam. I can't even feel it, so it looks just superficial. Yeah, these guides look great. There's no real scoring in any of them. Looks like this looks fine too. Now we'll do the front safety wire. Alright, next I believe we have to take those bolts out, these bolts out, and then these guys on the side. And then I should be able to lift the whole head off, I think. We're gonna crisscross pattern these guys off, starting with you. Oh man, that's on there nice and tight. And that doesn't fit. Awesome. I'm gonna pull this. So to get enough clearance to take this out, I'm gonna take this guy out real quick. Back to these guys. Might have to block the engine with like a piece of wood. Okay, so yeah, still working on these guys. I had to pull out the breaker bar because this thing is torqued down there pretty good, and I put a piece of wood back there to keep the engine from rotating. Let's see if we can get the head off. Now it's just pushing the engine this way. There we go. Oh, you know what? Got these guys. Alright, let's pull out these bolts and their washers. So yeah, when I turned this upside down, I forgot about the shims in here and I almost dropped them all out. But when I was looking at the bottom of this, I noticed, let's see if I can lift it up, there's quite a bit of carbon deposits up there. Like, a lot, especially for like a 5,000 mile bike. And then I came and I started looking at the piston. I was like, wait a minute, this thing is crazy covered in carbon. This thing looks nuts. I don't know if you can really tell. I'm going to try not to just destroy the piston and get this everywhere. But I can hang an entire edge of the screwdriver right here, just on all the carbon deposits that are here. For the head gasket, it looks like, I don't know, there's a little hole here. How is this designed? Oh yeah, so there's the top and the bottom inlet. which look like they should be getting cooling. And this thing's giving up the ghost almost. Looks like a little restrictor in there. This one looks fine. Ooh, all of these are just kind of inflated and ready to go. So I don't know if you see how much movement. It's like trapped full of air. I don't see a clear indication of where it would be making it into the cylinder itself. But maybe if these just lifted up enough. This is gnarly though. I'm probably going to end up needing to get a new piston, which I wasn't planning on, but this is just like, it's like all carbon. I don't even know how these valves were closing. They probably weren't. This to me is weird. Why is it just like a small little hole if you have a passage that's this big? You just got this tiny little thing. I'm gonna look at the gaskets that they got online. I'm not really familiar with the RC390 platform, so this is gonna be a learning experience. See if that did anything for him. Oh yeah, there we go. Just had to break that seal. I gotta get it up high enough so that I could get to the circlips. Ooh, okay. That should be high enough. Oh, just barely. That's uneven as hell. Oh, well, it's off now. Well, the bore looks super great. Doesn't look like there's... Oh yeah, look at that. Looks brand new in there. Let's see if I can get this here. Focus. Yep, cylinder is looking great. So hopefully you just have to replace the piston. These are gnarly. That's a circlip. Yeah, that's a lot of carbon buildup. Like, look at this section right here. It's so rough. There's not a smooth section on this because it's just all carbon. Nuts. Let's see if I can just chip a touch off. I know this piston's not going back in, so it'll be fine. So I just took this screwdriver to this, and I didn't even hit the piston. This is all just carbon. So here we have it. The RC390 top end is completely disassembled. I'm going to send the cylinder and the head to the machine shop and get those taken care of. And in the meantime, I'll refresh as much stuff as I can, get new gasket kits. I've got some O-rings I got to order, so that'll take a little bit of time. But hopefully get this thing all slapped back together soon. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garage, and I'll see you on the next one.